Total Championship Wrestling presents On the Apron with your host, TCW superstar Troy Alexander.
How's everyone doing out there? I am your host, TCW superstar Troy Alexander. Last night was one of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views of the year because it was Summerslam. And with that came some weird booking, as in where matches were placed, and heck, even who won, and how everything just interlapped with each other in these weird spots, like with Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That was about 9:30, which is basically halfway, and it's leaving me confused as to why they put that match mid-card for a SmackDown main event, but that is booking. So, as I will start this off, we'll start with the kickoff show, which actually wasn't that bad for a kickoff show. So we had, it was an 8-man, I believe, tag team match. It was American Alpha, the Hype Bros, and the Usos taking on Breezango, the Ascension, and the Vaudevillains. My bad, it was a 12-man tag match, making you feel a little overstuffed, but it actually wasn't that bad since it was all SmackDown teams, I believe. Or at least for the Usos, Hype Bros, and American Alpha, while I believe Breezango, the Ascension, and the Vaudevillains are all on Raw. But, the winners of that would be the Usos, American Alpha, and the Hype Bros, as Gable would go for their finisher, but Uso, don't know which one, would tag themselves in and hit the splash, giving them the 1, 2, 3. Now, for the next kickoff match, it would be Sami Zayn and Neville taking on the Dudley Boys. And with all the things surfacing around with the Dudleys announcing their retirement tonight for Raw, that this could possibly have been their last match, and everyone probably will be right. As we find two former NXT champions versus the most decorated team of all time. And as during the match went on, there was a lot of miscommunication, as they say, meaning are the Dudleys about to split up or what? Zayn and Neville, both ranking up in the division of Raw, won this after Bubba accidentally clobbered Devon and Neville nailed the red arrow. So the winners of that match are Sami Zayn and Neville via pinfall. The final kickoff match of the night was Cesaro versus Sheamus in their best of, I believe it's 5, but I thought it is best of 7, my bad. As Sheamus would give an impressing brogue kick after an eye poke and would kick Sheamus in the face with the brogue kick, and the winner of the first match of 7 would be Sheamus. Moving on to the main card of the night. For match number 1, we have Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, or Jericho versus Big Cass and Enzo. Honestly, the two most highlights of the night was Kevin Owens mocking Enzo, doing his little stutter step thingy, and then also with Owens and Chris Jericho pulling out their new finisher, which is basically a pop-up powerbomb setup where he throws the opponent behind him and Chris Jericho nails the code breaker. So the winners of this match, with some real heel heat, would be Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Now to the second match of the night, which is still why I said the card is a little messed up, because the WWE Women's Championship match between Sasha Banks and Charlotte was second of the night. Overall, they had some actually big spots of the night, as they Charlotte set up for what they were calling Razor's Edge, but it looked more like a power bomb. And Sasha turned it into a Hurricane Rana. And after that, she ended up locking a Boston Crab on the top buckle to try to work on the knee of Charlotte. But after everything, she tried to lock in the bank statement. Charlotte rolled her over, and the new women's champion would be Charlotte. Congratulations to Charlotte. For the Intercontinental match, which was third, it'd be Miz versus Apollo Crews. Honestly, this is a very quick match. I'm glad to see The Miz retain because his championship reign has actually been not that bad. But after kind of a quick match, it was all Miz did was he moved out of the way of the corner splash from Apollo Crews, Creed, whatever you want to call him, and he would end up hitting the skull-crushing finale to retain the SmackDown's top IC title contender. And to note, Miz beat the SummerSlam IC title curse. Way to go, Miz. Next would be Cena versus Styles, the match everyone was looking forward to. So it leaves us questioning, why would a match like this be so low, low on the card? But that would, one, be because I guess it was an all-or-nothing match, and they kind of just wanted to get a good match in so everyone would stay tuned, is what I'm guessing. But after a successful sunset flip by John Cena that went very quick, there was, I believe, 9 false finishes to this match. And Cena went for a top rope AA, and AJ still kicked out of that at like 2 and 3,000 quarters. So it was like a really close, like the rest hand almost hit the mat. But even though like the anti-Cena crowd cheered afterwards and Cena went for the AA, it was countered into a Styles clash, and then a phenomenal forearm was hit after the Styles clash, giving AJ Styles the win. After that, Cena sat in the ring and took off one of his armbands and left it in the ring, leaving us wondering, what is next? The next match on the card, after a Jon Stewart segment, I guess, like leaving you like, what the crap? He basically said he's glad no one interfered in the Cena versus Styles match, even though he interfered in the last one last year with him and Rollins. He ended up saying that he is joining the New Day since Big E is out, which comes up to match number 5, which will be New Day versus Gallows and Anderson for the WWE Tag Team Championships. So, in the match, they came out with the jars of pickled testes, to show Big E and all that. Jon Stewart would end up getting into the ring, and we thought this was all going to be the end for New Day's title reign. But after almost getting attacked by Gallows and Anderson, New Day hears their music play again, and out comes Big E. So Big E returned, and basically Gallows and Anderson win by disqualification, but Big E goes on a rampage and beats up Gallows and Anderson. Match number 6 of the night would be your WWE World Champion, Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler for the championship. Ziggler was actually showing off a really cool SummerSlam attire this year, and it was kind of like, some people are making fun of it, making him look like he was wearing aluminum foil or something. But it actually wasn't that bad looking. And, they had some okay spots, I guess. It was more of a mid-card match, even though it shouldn't have been. But it never really rose to the occasion as what they all expecting it, making it seem like all they were doing was so Dean could have this as his title reign. He would have a good name under it. He even did kind of pulled a Mick Foley, what he did with Shawn Michaels, where he kind of looked like he was going for the sweet chin music, but then he ends up hitting him in the chin and then does a dirty deeds, and that was basically it. And your winner and still champion, Dean Ambrose. Why did I? For your match 7, it would be Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi versus Natalya, Alexa Bliss. And we all were left guessing who was the final person. Well, they're doing that Eva Marie thing right now. So basically, they said she was on a vacation due to anxiety and all that in the British Isles. And next thing you know, you hear the Bella Twins music hit, and Nikki Bella has returned. after an actually good match and all women looking great, not gonna lie, Nikki hit it was kind of a, if you've watched Ring of Honor, it was kind of like a Silas Young finisher. So it's kind of a back flapjack RKO type move. And the heels of the match, Nikki Bella and Italian Alexa Bliss, would end up winning this match via pinfall. Now, for match number 8, probably the second greatest match of the night, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the new WWE Universal Championship. After revealing it, it kind of made you question, is creative team running out of options for titles? Because honestly, it looks like they were eating ketchup and just designed the belt that way. But Finn Balor would show off a new Demon King kind of paint, which would involve his regular, but then like a green tongue going down and like names and stuff. So it actually looked pretty cool. And after all these, it was basically a great match. Balor seemed injured due to, I believe it was a shoulder injury when Rollins did the powerbomb corner, but it was on the outside, and I believe Balor's arm got caught behind, and now he might be injured according to WWE.com. But this is kind of a fantasy booking, and after a great match and a clean win with a coup de grace, Demon King Finn Balor has won the very first Universal Championship of the new era, as we call it, leaving you to wonder, is the new era really starting? Now for match number 9, which wasn't even a match, it was Rusev versus Roman Reigns. After Rusev came out and kind of started asking all these things, Roman came out and Rusev started beating down Roman for a second, but then Roman got the upper hand and it was a no contest. And so basically Roman beat him up, taunted, went backstage, came out, speared him, looked at him, and walked back, leaving you to wonder, what's next? So after the match, though, "We Want Slater" chant was signaled, at the end, and Rusev is not looking great. So, like I said, it was a no-winner because the match never started. And now to the main event of the evening, Brock Lesnar versus the Viper, Randy Orton. Basically, it was a beatdown. Randy Orton, got busted up hard by Brock because Brock started throwing elbows and it cut him up. But people are wondering if he bladed. But the way the gash looks, it doesn't look like he bladed to me. But who knows? Orton did kick out of an F5, though, but that's when Brock started elbowing him hard and blood was pouring everywhere. So hopefully y'all can see what that looks like soon. It kind of ran a little too long, though, because, Brock kind of does the thing where it's suplex, taunt, suplex, taunt, suplex, taunt, suplex, taunt. You get the point. He basically taunts after he suplexes. So, winner of the match, it was called due to blood, so by TKO, is what they called it, was Brock Lesnar. And after that, Shane came out there and tried to stop it, but he got F5'd by Brock Lesnar, leaving everyone to wonder what's next for the Beast Incarnate, and leaving everyone kind of mad because we were all expecting Goldberg. So, SummerSlam, like I said, that was it, by the way. But for SummerSlam, it was an okay event. It's just the main event probably shouldn't have been Brock versus Randy because of the way it ended.